What is up? Back with my life story, part 2, how I went from broke and depressed to happy and 6 figures per month. First, before we get started, if you liked part 1, go ahead and comment. We enjoyed it. We loved it. It was motivational. If it helped you in any way, comment, let me know. And you know I got part 3 coming, but we about to get into part 2. So if you haven't watched part 1 yet, go back and watch part 1. Otherwise, this is going to have you confused. You're not going to know where I'm starting from. So if you watch part 1 to the end, you know I ended off with connecting with someone I looked up to and was supposed to head out to California. But like I said, I want to make sure I don't miss any key points as far as success, my struggles, to make sure you get the full grasp of things, but leaving out the fluff for now. I'll circle back and do that in later parts. So I know I moved up to about to move to California from Ohio, but I want to take it back to Maryland, because in Maryland, not only was I, like I said, I was working at the gym, I was the top salesman in personal training sales and all that, every now and then if I was staying focused, but most of the time I wasn't, because I was so focused on getting home, recording videos, recording content. So some months I'd be the best, other months I'd be the worst. That's how it went, right? But also after that, that's when I transitioned to Lifetime Athletics and was working there, top personal trainer, had all the clients immediately because I know how to talk to people, go up to people, snatch them off the treadmill, come work out with me. They see I'm the best, show them I had testimonials printed out from my online coaching that I was doing, because that's all the testimonials I had. So you use what you got to work with. So did that, but then same thing, fell off, wasn't motivated to do it, didn't like doing it, didn't like waking up. I had to wake up mad early, just never liked having a schedule and having a job. Let's be real, right? So from there, I'm like, all right, I need money, right? I had learned sales from all these sales positions and running these gyms. So I always learned if you know sales, this is important. If you know sales, if you can learn the skill set of sales, then you never have to worry about money, right? There's always gonna be a job for you because companies always need a salesman. So at that point, I went to doing door-to-door sales with, it was New Look, I think. The New Look, if you look up like New Look Home Design in Maryland or something like that. So I go there, I go to the interview. He's like, yeah, you can make $10,000 a month. I'm like, yo, $10,000. When I went home, told my ex-wife at the time, I'm like, yo, he said I can make $10,000 a month. Like, I was so blown away. Took the position, you had to wear a suit and all that, dress up, dress shoes. Had to go in for round table trainings like 2-3 times a week, which I hated. Was always uncomfortable in a group setting. So I'm doing door-to-door sales. I'm selling gutters. I'm selling windows. I'm selling roofing, flashing. I can tell you everything you need to know about different shingles, like breaking it down. So I'm pulling up to people's houses. I get the text like 3 appointments a day. Sometimes the appointments be 2 hours away. So even though they say you make your own schedule, you're not working an 8-hour shift like usual, you have more free time. It's not true. That's a sales pitch they use to get you in to use you, right? Sorry, I just woke up and just got a shower. So I'm driving, like say I have an appointment at 9 o'clock. But it's 2 hours away. Man, I need some water. It's 2 hours away, right? So I got to wake up, hour early prep. I got to do the satellite measurements, make sure I have the measurements ready to go. So when I go do my pitch, I know about how much they're going to be charged for the roof. They want gutters added on. If they got 8 windows, when I get there, I got to measure the windows. So I got to get there early because I see from the satellite, they got 20 windows, right? So I need to make sure they're measured so I know. And I get there early because I got to measure them from the outside. So the quick 45-minute pitch turns into a 5-hour thing for each appointment. So I'm doing 3 of those a day, burnt out, closing some deals. Then they close them for $20,000, $30,000. Then they cancel, 3-day cancel, wasting my time. Never made $10,000 a month, right? So that just goes to show you that I was willing to take risks. I ain't know nothing about roofing. I ain't know nothing about gutters. I ain't never been a handyman, none of that. Didn't grow up with a father figure to teach me stuff like that. Didn't know nothing about it. I said, you know what? I can make money, let me do it. So I had a few checks that was decent. From there, nothing. So moving along, when I moved to Utah with another woman, because I'm struggling at the time, my wife had divorced me, met this new woman. Again, we'll circle back and talk about that in the future episodes and parts. But anyways, I get there, I'm not happy. I need to get some money flowing because I don't want to be the bum that's just living at the house and ain't got no money, just living off her. So I started. What was the first job I did there? The first job I did there, same thing. I did solar panels. Going, killing it. The dude's happy. It's like a small company. The dude's happy. And I'm killing it. My checks I'm getting like, good commissions, couple thousand here and there. It's looking good. Same thing, falls off. They stopped giving me appointments. Business went down. I don't know what happened. I'm doing my thing. I just wasn't getting enough leads. But again, I'm willing to do whatever to get some funds rolling. I don't care. I don't know nothing about solar panels. I'm going to do it. So stop making excuses. If you want money, you want to feed your family, you want to feed yourself, make things happen, all right? I got to get something to drink. I don't know what the hell's in my throat. So, where'd my grape juice go? Where'd my grape juice go? Or water or something. So, I keep it raw. Moving along, my iron tonic's coming in today too. So from there, I end up doing GNC. I'm like, you know what? I want to do something back in the health and fitness, but I don't want to work at the gym. GNC's got a supervisor position. I'm thinking supervisors got to pay good money, right? Hey. So this is key right here. This is the key part, so I need y'all to pay attention. Get the interview, of course, cost you to hire me. That's what I do. I'm really good at interviews. I never had an interview and I got the job. That's facts. So, not knowing that this GNC that they're putting me in is like up in the canyons in Utah. If you know anything about Utah, it's up in the canyons. You got to drop through the mountains, where it's snow all year round. Even when it's 100 degrees down in I was in West Valley, which is kind of like the hood of Utah. So even when it's 100 down there's always snow up in the canyons. So this is where the job's at. So it's taking me like an hour and a half to drive there every day. Mind you, I'm getting $10.20 an hour, $10.20 an hour, I think. It was like $10.20 an hour, but you get commission if you sell, and this is key. A lot of you buying them the herbs from GNC, the supplements, not knowing they're pushing you towards certain supplements because you don't know what you're doing. So you come in, hey, how can I help you? Yeah, I'm looking for this. Oh, this is the best product right here. Sorry, the Versace robe is coming undone. Don't want things to get too crazy over here. But this is the best one over here, and if you get this, you need to take this with it, because if you bundle them together, you get a bigger commission. So if I sell this GNC brand or the promotion of the week, the Ghost protein, this is the one of the week. If you sell this, you get 25 commission for every one you sell. But if you sell that with the pre-workout and then the BCAAs, now it increases, you get 3 times. So now your commission is 150. And then at the checkout, you sign them up for the membership, the GNC membership. It's all game. And again, most of those products are the same. They white label them. They all come from the same warehouse. The different companies just send their custom label and wrap the thing and give you the same product. It's crazy. So I'm doing that, not making no money. I thought this commission was going to add up. Checks is like $1,000, like no lie. Biggest check was probably $1,100, $1,200. Mind you, I'm dropping way up in these canyons. So here's what happens. One day, doing what I always do, listen to some educational podcast. I forget exactly what it was that day. I'm driving in the canyons. It's a little bit of rain. It's not snow. It had just started like sprinkling. I'm in the fast lane. The speed limit's 75, but I'm going like 70 because it's a little wet, right? I'm in my Camaro at the time. I had a Camaro. And all of a sudden, I'm just driving, listening. I'm like 15 minutes about to hop off the highway to the job. And boom, car just loses control. Like fishtails, loses control. Again, I'm up against the median. I'm in the left lane and I'm driving again. I'm going 5 miles under the speed limit. Just cruising like nothing. Tire didn't blow out, nothing. Fishtails. Bop, bop. Boom, slam into the median. When I slam into the median, luckily the airbag on the window comes down because my head went hard into it. So I'm like a little dizzy. I remember hitting it so hard, I bounced out in traffic, which I'm in the left lane. So there's 3 other lanes. I see out the rear view, the side mirror, other cars coming. So luckily I had the wherewithal, the consciousness to purposely turn my wheel back left into the wall. So I bounce out. I see the other cars start swerving. I'm like literally out of it. Swerve myself back in. Boom. And I just slide up the wall. And all of a sudden I smell gas. I'm thinking movies, like my car's about to catch on fire. So I bounced out just enough to leave me space to open my door. And I'm just there for a second. I'm like checking, like, because they say when the adrenaline's flowing, you don't know if you're bleeding, you don't know nothing. So I'm like checking. Now I smell gas. I'm like out of it. I get out the door and all I remember is somebody behind me. I guess the people behind me had stopped. So they're dragging me, lean me up against the median, like, you're okay? I'm like, touching me. I'm like, yeah, I think. It's like a guy and his son. And so anyway, they called 911, all that stuff. I'm sitting in the fire truck. My ex came to pick me up. And it's crazy, by that time it starts snowing. So even when she picked me up driving back down from the canyons, we're like hydroplaning, and I'm like so scared. I'm like, just go slow as possible. Just go 5 miles per hour. Like, pull over, put your hazard lights on. I don't care. I don't want to experience that again. I was scared, right? But the reason this story is important is because I was doing all that driving to make $1,000, $1,200 every 2 weeks to put my life at risk because I'm willing to take chances, but make smart decisions. Because me doing all that, it could have ended it all. But also, that was the moment when I started teaching holistic health. Because I had always been studying this stuff. I knew all the Dr. Sabi stuff. This is what I did in my free time. But at the time, if you go back to my old TikToks, to my old Instagram videos, I was teaching general fitness and health. I would talk about eggs and chicken because I knew that's generally what people wanted when it came to health. I was scared to like teach the holistic stuff because I had heard about the dangers and holistic healers dying, and I thought people would think I was crazy and nobody wanted to hear it. But at that moment, I was like, I have all this information that could save people and help people live longer, healthier, more functional lives, but I'm holding it in because I'm worried about what people think about me. Right? So if in that wreck, I wouldn't have made it through all of this that I have to give the universe, all this positive energy I have to help people out all over the world, nobody would ever knew it. Nobody would ever got this information. Many wouldn't have. So from that day on, I literally locked myself in the garage and posted 20 videos a day, 15 to 20 videos every single day to TikTok. So that's when I started. I said, I'm no longer teaching the bullshit bodybuilding. I'm no longer teaching the chicken and the white rice and all that. No, I'm not doing it. I can't do it anymore, right? Because I'm misleading my people. Of course, this is what I was taught. So this is partially what I had believed. But at the same time, I knew it wasn't the absolute right way. Because that's not even what I was doing anymore. I was already on the alkaline stuff. But I didn't think anybody else wanted to hear it. So it took that moment of realizing how short life can be, and this is my second big wreck, by the way, to actually get into what I was doing. So because of that, that's when my life changed. When I started teaching holistic health, my life changed. My following finally started to grow after 10 years making videos and nobody caring, getting 5 views. Just being myself in videos. Old videos, I wasn't necessarily myself. I was like calm and I was scared to be myself because I was scared what people think. From now on, I'm like, yo, I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. And that's when business went crazy. Social media went crazy. All y'all know me now that didn't know me before. Start making money. Business was blowing up. So that's when, fast forward, I moved to the gym. I was the general manager at EOS. That's when I was doing that in my office, recording TikToks on lunch break, like I had said in part 1. And then from there, that takes us up to the point where I was at, where I ended part 1. All right. So now we're 13 minutes in. Keeping this raw. So again, I ended part 1 saying I had got connected with somebody I looked up to for years, who I learned a lot about holistic health from. And then also a reason he connected with me is because he had a stock and crypto course. I think he sold them for like $100 a piece. I got into stocks, the crypto, the options trading course, the day trading. So like $400 total investment. Each was like $100. And I was focused. I was sending them testimonials. Hey, made 100 today, made 400 today. So I was one of the most consistent students. So I believe that had got his attention. I believe he had told me. Right? So that's how he had seen my message when I actually DM'd him, even though he never before had really seen my messages. Right? So again, I was consistent. I seen an opportunity. I seen some knowledge. I invested in it. As always, got the knowledge, was killing it in the stocks, killing it in crypto, was starting making some money. Right? That got this person's attention. So long story short, like I said, was supposed to go to Miami, ended up moving out to Cali. Flew me out to Cali. It was supposed to be 3 days for his birthday party. Again, I'm not a social person. That was my first party ever. Facts. This is what, 29 years old, 28, 29 years old, about 3 years ago now. It's funny, today's the 8th or 9th. I flew out to Cali on August 7th, 2020, in the middle of the pandemic. So exactly 2 years. 2 years and 2 days. Today at the time of the recording of this video. Crazy. Supposed to be out there 3 days. I was his security. I was holding all his money. I was being his driver for him and his women, all that stuff. And same time, I'm in the car just soaking up game. This gets me to the point of why you need to shut up and listen and be quiet. Because at the time, I didn't have much going for myself. Wasn't making much money. Was lacking a lot of knowledge. I knew this person had a lot of knowledge. So when I was around them, I wasn't talking. I was quiet. They thought I was quiet. They didn't speak. I'm just always listening. When I'm in the car driving the Rolls Royce and whatever other cars, the Escalades, the whatever, Ferraris, whatever. I'm listening to him doing phone consultations and I'm just taking notes. And then I even asked, is it cool if I record? So I'd be driving, recording like this, cutting up clips. I even started his own TikTok page for him because I was recording so much content. I'm like, let me do the TikTok page. He's like, you blow this up for me. You keep because you get money from views, right? So I was chopping up the videos that I was recording and editing them and posting them to TikTok as a little side pocket change. But yeah, so I was out there with him soaking up a lot of info on holistic health, stocks, finance, crypto. Sorry, I got a phone call that interrupted this. You know, I'm keeping it raw. So I was supposed to be out there 3 days. It's a 3-day party. I'm taking care of his family, driving them where they need to be, his kids, his daughters, all the friends. I'm just all over the place, not sleeping, like literally not sleeping, right? But at the same time, just soaking up information, everything he's saying. I'm just taking it. I'm not talking. Like I'm barely talking, I promise you. I'm in these long car rides. We're going. So after 3 days, I'm supposed to go home. And he's like, can you stay a little longer? I'll pay for the rental car you got, and you can continue to stay in the bedroom in the mansion up in Hollywood Hills, right? And I'm just being motivated because I'm seeing all these young black people that look like me, that dress like me, that's getting money, different rappers, producers, artists, just whatever. And I'm like, yo, if they can do it, I can do it. I even called my nephew. I remember like the second day of the party, I was actually leaning up against the Ferrari. I'm looking over the hills in Hollywood, and I just called him, and I'm like, yo, like, he was probably 13 at the time. I start bawling out crying, like telling him I'm gonna make it. Like, you know, I've been away from home, but I'm making something happen. Like, I'm gonna make something happen so I can take care of the family, take care of your mom, my mom. Like, just know that I'm away for a good reason. I was like bawling my eyes out on the phone. It's crazy. He's like, you know, I understand, Uncle Tevin. Like, yeah. So, you know, I'm just getting motivated and inspired. Because I feel like sometimes you need to touch and you need to feel things to see that they're possible and tangible. So like I said, when I see people that look like me, dress like me, around the same age as me, and they're driving Rolls Royces, Ferraris, Benzes, living in the houses, having parties in these houses, living in Hollywood with palm trees and sun every day, taking care of their moms, taking care of their family, taking care of their wives, like whatever the motivation is for you. Some of you want physical things. Some of you want to take care of your family. I'm seeing all that all in one. Right? So from that moment on, it like unlocked another piece of my brain. So long story short, things are going good. And probably like 6 days went by. I'm like, hey, when am I going back? Like pretty much like, I ain't trying to leave because I'm helping out a lot. He's like, I want you to stay. I'll give you $3,000 a month, which is about what I would make from a job, $1,500 every 2 weeks. He was like, on top of it, I know you got the TikTok thing going. At that point, I'm probably making like $3,000 to $5,000 a month. I had built it up to. So I'm like, yeah, I'll stay. So I flew back to Utah, got my stuff, moved out with that ex because things weren't going good anyway. And was just living either in his room or on the couch, depending on where we were staying at, because he had different places, right? A lot of times on the couch, like, and again, I'm driving 24/7. When I tell you this dude's on the move nonstop, like could be 3 o'clock in the morning. We'd be out nonstop in the studio, whatever. Drive to Vegas to hang out with Mayweather, just all the time. Went back and forth to be linked with Mayweather and all this stuff probably 4 or 5 times in the span of like 3 months. So always driving back and forth to Vegas. Like, hey, I'm trying to go to Vegas in 30 minutes. Just pack light. Can you pull up? Like that notice. It was crazy. So, you know, it was motivational, but I have all this time I'm spending putting into this person and their family and driving. So how do I take my business next level? Again, I'm retaining this information. I'm learning business tactics. I'm learning more holistic health. I'm learning a lot of things and just unlocking different realms in my brain. So I'm in the car as I'm driving. I'm always dropping them off places. I start recording videos in the car. I'm in the Rolls Royce. You'll see videos with the Rolls Royce behind me in the headrest. Because I'm like, I'm going to take advantage of this. I have a Rolls Royce here. People like cars. If I do videos with that in the back, it's going to get more views. I'm sitting in the car anyway, waiting all the time as I drop him off or take him shopping. Because I ain't got no money to go shopping. We're going into Neiman Marcus. We're going into Gucci, all these stores. And I'm just standing there like looking at my phone because I can't afford nothing, right? I can't afford Versace or nothing like that at the time, right? You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm going to sit in the car and I'm just busting out videos in the car. So again, take advantage of what you have. All I have is my phone. I have this dude's car. I'm sitting in it. I have all this free time as I'm waiting. Instead of sitting there and scrolling through TikToks and YouTube, take advantage of it. So I'm doing that, busting out videos. It's a lot of stuff that goes into that story, but that's like the key motivational part is like how if you grind, like I did the stock course, it took that to get this person's attention and perform well. And then just serving, right? Give back, and you'll get in return. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll drive your family, your wives, I'll drive you anywhere, whatever. I'll sleep on your couch. I'll drop everything I'm doing to give back to you and make sure y'all are good, whatever. And it came back, right? And all the knowledge I obtained over this course of like probably 6 months, I want to say. I'm doing that nonstop. My new woman at the time, I'm living with her. Because again, at this point, I still can't really afford my own place, nothing like that. So she's like, yeah, let's live together. You know, it's cool. That was a really good relationship. And at this point, this is before I moved with her. I had finally built up to the point where I'm doing like 6,000 to 8,000 a month. About 6,000 to 8,000 a month online. So that's when me and her got the place. We're doing half and all that. Then we got a new place. I was paying the rent and all that. So it had finally get to the point where I could leave. I'm like, hey, I got my own thing going on. I don't have the time to drive you 24/7. So I stepped away, right? So I'm showing y'all every step. Now at this point, a key thing is Derek Grace. If you know Derek Grace too, with all the tats on his face and the dreads and the kids with the ammunition and loading the guns and all that stuff. I had found him, so I'm learning from him. At this point, I'm just building, grinding. So months, let's say every month it goes up, I'm telling you. So for over the next 3 to 4 months, I go from making 5,000 to 8,000 a month to consistently 20,000, 25,000 a month from online, strictly online sales, Instagram, TikTok, just social media, right? With the custom coaching, with the bundles, the detoxes and all that. But I'm like, yo, I feel capped. Like, I don't know how to take this next level. I want to go next level. It's like a lot. But I'm living in Cali, I got these bills, I still ain't really got enough to really take care of my family like I want to. What's next? I'm always looking for the next thing, the next mentor, the next person who knows more than me, the next investment into myself, into my knowledge, right? So Derek Grace too, he's talking, he comes out with this book. This is after pandemic. This is like this is the very end of 2020, right before 2021. I get the book probably November 2021, how I made 11 million during the pandemic. I think it's titled Derek Grace, How I Made 11 Million During the Pandemic. I'm reading it, very simple book, short book, straight to the point. I like how he writes, how he talks, like just like this. That's how the writing is. My style, right? One play in there was one play that he gave about marketing. It was about marketing yourself on social media and how to like guerrilla market and all that stuff. It was one play to drive urgency. If you've been following me for a while, you know what it was. I did that December, I think I announced that December 2nd or December 7th. The month of December, hitting into New Year's, December 31st, I made $100,000, my first $100,000 month over that one play. So I went from consistently making about 20,000, let's say 15 to 25,000, to finding one play in one book. Mind you, this book costs $250. Most of us would never buy. I'm like, $250 for a book. Let me change my mindset. I'm getting it. Versus saying $250 for a book, that's ridiculous. Whatever. Everything's ridiculous. What side of ridiculous do you want to be on? Dang, you're ridiculously broke. You're ridiculously rich. It's ridiculous how much you can do for your family. It's ridiculous you can't pay your bills. Which side of ridiculousness you want to be on? Ridiculousness, Rob Derek, whatever. So one play in this $250 book took me from 20,000 a month to 1,000 or 100,000. I can't even say it. It's crazy. $100,000 in a month. Needless to say, my New Year's was amazing, right? So from there, that play is something you can only do like one time, really. Maybe every 5 years or something, right? So I'm not recommending y'all do it, but it's a high risk play with social media marketing, right? And you gotta make sure it's done right so people still, rock with you, because you don't want to disrespect and lie to people, right? Which I didn't. So I did it perfect, right? I made sure I took my business next level, and I took way more people next level, right? With the product I was selling. It was a way to get more people to buy my stuff and drive urgency. Simple move, right? So from there, it dips back down, 20,000 a month again. So I'm like, yo, I can't do that again. So that's something I can only do every now and then, right? So I'm like, man, what am I gonna do? What I'm gonna do? It's like 3-4 months go by, probably 3 months. I go on a trip to DR with another one of my exes. But this time I'm just dating around a lot. But that's for another video, like I said. But I always save, same thing, use your time wisely. I always save podcasts, interviews, and things like that for my flights. So the flight was from Cali, to DR. So I got to fly from Cali to Florida. That's like a 6 hour flight. And then to DR about 1.5 hours, 2 hours. So I got 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours of flying. Watching other interviews. I'm like third interview in, each one's like an hour. I find David Shands, which so happens to be my first big interview. That's crazy too, it comes full circle. I found a David Shands interview with the dude Neo on it. I'm watching, he's talking about internet marketing and how, he said something like, I can my team will build a proven funnel for you, which is a type of website. This is why y'all need to be in my mentorship, by the way. Gotta teach you all this stuff for much less. Keep it from all this stuff, all these mentors and all this info I've gathered. I've taken all these stones like I'm Thanos, and now I got it all and I sell it for way cheaper. But that's another video. Apply for the mentorship, links in the bio. And comment, free game, comment something positive if you're liking these tell-all videos. I'm giving you the breakdown. So, because a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, I'm a millionaire now, I made 10 million, blah, blah. How'd you do it? Just grind and hustle, and I signed this big deal. Yeah, but how did you get there? What were the steps? I want to give you all the steps. So I watched this interview, probably 40 minutes into the interview, in like a 5 to 10 second part. He's like, yeah, if anybody wants my help, call or text this number, 24 blah, da, and my team will build a funnel for you. And I'm like, pause the video. I screenshot that part so I remember. So as soon as I land in DR, I get to the resort, text that number, schedule a call with his team. I'm on the phone with his team the next day, like hour-long sales call. They're like $50,000. I'm like, what? I've never spent $50,000 on anything. That's like crazy to me. $50,000. The most I'd ever paid for a mentor before that was the $10,000 of Brandon Carter, which was $5,000 twice, right? So pretty much $5,000 at one time was the most I'd ever spent on mentors. So when I heard $55,000 actually, I'm like, whoa, well, that's not doable. But at this time, through this year, all I'm doing, I'm putting all my money into crypto and stocks. And so I had a bunch saved in crypto. Crypto's up at the time. So I'm like, I know it's going to drop because I've been studying crypto. So I know it's going to drop soon and be the bear market, no longer the bull. So maybe I should pull out this 50 and maybe I should just do this. I don't know this guy. I didn't get to speak on the phone to him personally. I only got to speak to his team. They're like 50,000. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm talking to my girl. She's like, that sounds ridiculous. But you know me. I'm like, I'm going to do what I want. So yeah. 3-4 days goes by, I get the money, I pull it out of, I had it in Ethereum at the time. Send the wire information, send the wire. 50,000, let's go. Long story short, a lot of information, a lot of stuff I didn't know. A lot of plays I didn't know, which now I teach all my people in the mentorship program. Again, I pay $50,000. My mentorship, I'll tell y'all in this video only, is $6,000, right? So I spent $50,000 on Neo. The dude I was in Cali with, man, $400 for the courses, and then $3,000 for the credit fix, partial mentorship, I think $2,000 for something else. So about $8,000 with him. So now we're at $58,000. Bought that $250 book from Derek Grace. Bought the courses on the TikTok. $10,000 of Brandon Carter. All the books, all the different webinars, seminars I've done to obtain this knowledge on holistic health. I'm not even including those in the mentorship. So over 100,000 on mentorship. I sell it all to you. All the things I've gathered, plus working with me one-on-one for 6,000. That's what it is. This is the only video I'm gonna say that price. Other people gotta apply and figure it out to know, because it depends on what you want also. So if you want the credit fix, if you want the health mentorship, you want the wealth mentorship, you want the business mentorship, you want the meals delivered to you at your door, you want the herbs delivered to you at your door, it's 6,000. But if you don't need all that, then it's less. It depends. It could be 3,000, could be 4, could be 5, could be 6, depending on what you need. But anyways, so I paid this 50,000. I'm learning so many plays on digital marketing I didn't know that I wasn't utilizing for my social media, for my website, and all that stuff. And because I took that risk and invested 50,000 with this person I don't know, I watched one video of his. Then I'm like, let me watch a couple more. I watched like 3 more between that time of sending the wire payment. Like, all right, I searched, is he a scam? Like everybody does. Is he a scam? Didn't find anything. Found a couple things that said he is, just like you will with anybody. But I'm like, all right, I see the positive reviews. I see the people's lives he's changing. He's posting the testimonials like I am. So forget the scam comments, whatever. Let's go. Sent him $50,000. Never met him. Didn't get to speak to him on the phone. I only spoke to his sales team. Right? And because of that, instantly, I went from dropping back to making $20,000 a month to consistently making $100,000 a month ever since then. Ever since then, I started in February. It was like February, I had the email. February 7th, I think I got my welcome email, right? So from February, March, April, May, June, July, 7 months now, I've made $100,000 a month every single day. Before that, I had already made $100,000 a month. And before that, I was still consistently making $30,000 a month, which ain't bad. It's not bad, right? It's not bad. A lot of people, especially in my hometown in West Virginia, where the income's very low and stuff, like $30,000. My ex-wife was a teacher in West Virginia. Her salary was like $29,000 a year. So making that a month is still great. But just because I invested, I took it to $100,000 a year. Some months 120. It all depends, right? And that's not even including my crypto investments, my stock investments. I'm doing Airbnbs now, all that stuff. Like, man. So that kind of leads us up to today. That's the main pieces I wanted to give you, just to show you the key things that I had to fight through, the struggles. Oh, one other struggle. When I'm in Utah, after that wreck, I forgot one job. Let me say this. This is important too. And then I'm going to close out part 2. There was one job I took after the wreck at GNC. I took a sales job at a cubicle. See, this is why I need to, I'm going to probably do another, there's going to be other parts because there's so many things I forget. And I want to make sure you get everything. I took a sales job at a cubicle. We were in charge of calling like 20 different companies. So I would call, hey, this is Tevin calling on behalf of Something Nutrition. Hey, this is Tevin calling on behalf of Something Makeup. So different hours, we acted like different companies. I don't know the setup. So we were the team in charge of like 10 different businesses. So I'm doing 700 to 800 calls a day. I'm in a cubicle, just locked in a cubicle on a dialer. That's where the phone dials automatically. As soon as you hang up, it automatically dials again. Hey, this is Tevin calling on behalf. Hey, I see that you got our makeup product. Yeah, how's that going for you? It's horrible. So why are you calling me at 8 in the morning? What's going on? Take me off your list. Hang up. Hey, this is Tevin calling on behalf of the makeup. How's the results coming along for the dark spots? It's horrible. I haven't seen any results. How do I refund? Stop calling me. Hey, this is 700 calls a day just to get maybe 10 people per day to say yes and reorder. Like the most mind-boggling thing, like draining thing I've ever done. But I'm like, all right, it's a chance to make more money. My checks there was like probably $2,500 every 2 weeks. So that's like the most consistent money I had made. This is before I start making money online. I'm circling back to Utah. I know I'm all over the place, but it's so many things. So it's going good, but it's so stressful. And then it's dropped. It's like, man, some checks are good, some are horrible. And people's getting fired every day. Like somebody next to me, oh, he's no longer here. He got fired. He didn't hit his quota, or he forgot to say on a recorded line on his phone call. If you forgot to say, hey, it's Tevin on a recorded line calling. If you forgot to say that, they just start firing you. So imagine doing 800 calls a day and being worried, like, shit, did I say on a recorded line? Oh man, I might come in tomorrow and they tell me to clean up my desk. That's like, it was so stressful. On top of that, the relationship was bad. I was stressed, man. That's another thing. Again, I'm gonna circle back and tell all that, don't worry. So that's when I started having my worst anxiety attacks. That's when I had a really bad, when I was upstairs and in the room, I was actually watching Breaking Bad. I remember because for the longest time I would no longer watch Breaking Bad because it gave me feeling like it was gonna happen again. I was scared to watch Breaking Bad. It's crazy what the mind can do. So I'm upstairs laying in bed with my woman, watching Breaking Bad, and all of a sudden just out of nowhere, I'm like, I can't breathe, shaking, dripping sweat, stomach, diarrhea, throwing up, jaw locked, literally the worst one ever. I'm like shaking nonstop. I'm just get freezing cold, but I'm dripping sweat like I had just walked out of a sauna. She's never seen me had this happen before because I had been good for a while. Rushes me to the hospital, pump me full of volume, the usual, until I fall asleep, wake up, are you good? Yeah, we just calmed you down, volume, blah, blah. We're gonna get you a therapist. So that's when I got to the point where I'm like shaking on the couch for like 2 weeks straight, like couldn't go to work, like balled up, locked, watching meditational videos, watching a bunch of Tony Robbins, watching anxiety, watching How to Be Safe in Your Own Body, The Untroubled Mind, As a Man Think, of reading all these books, listening to all these audio books. Couldn't even go to the gym because when I go to the gym, my heart rate would go up from working out. And when you have anxiety, your heart rate goes up. So anytime I would work out, my heart rate goes up. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm having an anxiety attack. And panic attack, right? So I literally couldn't do anything. So I got through it though. I watched so many videos, just motivational, inspirational. I put blue lights in the house because I found out blue is the best color for relaxation. I'm like twiddling my fingers as I'm thinking about it. It was bad. It was bad. I'm playing 2K, trying to relax my mind all day. I don't know how to censor things on YouTube, how they censor things, but I'm saying the S word in my head all day. Hurt yourself. S. Like no matter what I do, I'm playing the game. It's just like, hurt yourself. The other word, hurt yourself. S word. SUI. And I'm like, yo, why am I've never been this way before. So I'm like twitching, like smacking myself in the head, like trying to make myself stop saying it. Playing 2K, I'm like, all right, focus on the game. And no matter what, it wouldn't stop doing it. See a therapist, go there, bawl my eyes out, like lips puckering. My girl was actually with me. That's the first time she ever really heard my whole story. Just crying my eyes out. The therapist recommending pills. I had got 2 types of pills actually. That's the first time where I'm like, yo, I don't care. I can't take it. I'm not safe in my own body. Give me the pills. I took the pills for 2 days. Again, I'm gonna keep it all the way real. I took the pills for 2 days. And then I said, yo, this is not me. I don't believe in this. I'm not doing this. Threw the pills away, never took them again. Never took them again to this day. And just strengthened my brain. Start doing meditation. Just so many things. Saunas, the floating. If you haven't done floating pods, going on long walks. Like, even if it's cold out, I don't care. Just getting outside, getting in the sun, getting the herbs, the sarsaparilla, the ashwagandha, the valerian root at night before bed to calm me down, taking melatonin, making sure the ingredients are good. Like, I was not going to do pills. I'm like, yo, I've completely went against everything I believe in because I've let my brain tell me that I'm in trouble when I know I'm not. It's because of the stressful job, the stressful relationship. I'm in a place I don't like. I have no family, I have no friends, I have nobody there. So it took me downhill fast. But I tell you all that to tell you if I can get through that and come out on the other side and be good now without pills, without a therapist, with just myself and getting in tune with your inner self, that's the most important thing you can do. I'm gonna cut this video here. It's probably like 30, 40 minutes long. There's still so much stuff I'm missing in. If this helped, comment it was motivational. Comment part 3. Comment part 3 if you want to hear more. There's so much more to this. Comment part 3. Comment part 3. Let me know if you related, if anything at all. So here we are. Part 3 is going to be coming probably next week or whenever I feel I got to add some more stuff into it because, again, so much stuff I missed. But somebody needed to hear this. Somebody needs to hear the struggles, the successes, and there's so much more. That's all I can keep saying. I'll let y'all later. Comment, like, share this, click the bell, subscribe. I'm being consistent with the YouTube thing again. Hope y'all enjoyed. I love y'all for watching. Happy to inspire, motivate, keep going. Don't let this world bring you down. Don't let negative relationships, negative family members, negative jobs, negative bosses, get away from it. If you can at the time, put all your effort in. If you're in a situation, if you're in a relationship you don't like, you're around family members you don't like, you're in a state you don't like, your living situation you don't like, the car you don't like, your friends you don't like, whatever it is, and you're not in a situation, you're not in a financial situation to get out of it, do everything you can to get the finances to get out of the situation so you can find happiness. Because a lot of you can't find happiness because you're stuck, because you don't have the finances. So when I talk about health and wealth and why both are important, this is why. Because if you don't have the wealth, you'll find yourself stuck in a situation that is causing your health to deteriorate, your mindset to deteriorate, your anxiety to increase, your depression to increase, your health to go downhill, your urge to smoke cigarettes and weed and take pharmaceuticals and do horrible things to ease the pain and numb the pain that isn't really covering it. It's only covering it up. It's not getting rid of the real issue. So you got to do everything you can to get this wealth so you can get this health and put yourself in a healthy environment. I can't strive to you enough. I'll holler at you later. I'll holler at you later. Peace. Oh, and also, real quick, if anything I've talked about in part 1 and part 2, you feel I didn't go into enough detail, or you're kind of confused on how I got from one point to another, if I missed anything, comment it below. Like, hey, well, you said this, well, how did you get there? Or what did you do? Comment it below so I can answer that in part 3. All right, now, holler at you later. Peace. Oh, I forgot. Do what you got to do, because it's that simple. And you know my phrase. I don't believe in if, try, can't, almost, or maybe. I get it done. No excuses. Nothing to it but to do it. Point your finger in the mirror if you blew it. Take accountability. Peace.